means to you?
Oh man, I think it's great. I've been, we've been open for 32 years, Upstate Karate in Simpsonville. Been teaching the kids classes since I was 15 years old. We do have an after-school program. We pick up kids from school, bring them back to the facility, help them out with their homework, feed them snack, and get them ready for their classes during the day. And I think it's awesome, especially in a martial arts school, because you don't get a whole lot of character building anywhere else. The martial arts, I know what it's done for me, and I want to give that back to them. Teaching you modesty, courtesy, integrity, self-control, perseverance, showing that indomitable spirit, respect. I think it's what our society needs, man.
Nice. And I know this is a special bond you have with your dad, Ray. Having him in your corner, having him as your coach. Talk to me a little bit about that. Give the fans a little bit. Let them on the inside a little bit.
Man, I love my pops. I call him pops. Anyway, Ray Thompson is my dad. He's my main coach. We just make it work. There's a lot of father-son duos out there who didn't make it. You got Roy Jones Jr., Mayweather. We just make it work. I have a lot of respect for them, and we know how to separate it. When it's time for training, it's time for training. I listen to him. Whatever he says, I do. Outside of that, it's father-son time, and we just make it work. And I love my dad very much. I respect him. He's trained many fighters over the years, and so whenever he says something, I listen.
Wonderful. Thanks a lot, Steve. I appreciate it, man. Good luck.
Thank you.
So Matt Brown is the opponent that you lost to, your only loss in the UFC. Hendricks just beat him. How have you improved since that fight? It was in 2012.
Yeah, it was my second fight in the UFC, and like you said, I learned a lot from that fight. With my weight cut, I had a bad weight cut, and I was walking around about 210, trying to cut to 170, just killed me. I lost my legs in the first round, but I told myself, this guy's not going to knock me out, he's not going to submit me, and I'm going to give him hell. And I thought I did great. Compared, to his experience, Matt Brown's experience. And I know Johny Hendricks has fought him and beat him as well. But I learned a lot from that fight with my wrestling defense, my jiu-jitsu, and I think I've come a long way.
Speaking of weight cutting, do you have any concern that Hendricks will come in extremely ballooned up and just a lot heavier than you?
No, I think he's walking around a lot of weight right now. Of course, he's saying he's walking around at 173. I don't necessarily, believe in that, but I know he's walking around a lot of weight, which means when he steps in the cage, he will be lighter. It doesn't mean he's not a powerful or strong guy, but I think he's going to come in better shape than he has before because he's walking around a lot of weight. I think we're going to see the best Johny Hendricks, and that's what I want.
How did you get the news that you were going to be like the main fight instead of
Actually, when I found out that Cain Velasquez and Werdum wasn't happening, they couldn't find a fighter for Stipe, I wanted to fight. So we talked to Joe Silva. I was like, listen, we want this five-in-round fight. And he's like, I'll get back with you. And next thing you know, he's calling back. He says, it's on. So that's pretty much all he said was, it's on. I'm like, yes, I want to show the UFC, I want to show the fans, like I've said before, that I'm ready for that next step of competition with that title. I think this is definitely going to prepare me for that.
This will be your first 5-round fight, correct?
Actually, my second. My last fight was with Jake Ellenberger, main event for the tough finale. That was scheduled for 5 fights. It went 1, but I'm always prepared and ready and in shape for a 5-in-round.
Your style has so much movement to it. Is there any concern about getting tired?
No, it's just something that I've been doing my whole life. Starting at the age of 12, my full contact training. At the age of 12. My dad was had me training with world champions at the time. These were adults. And to me, I felt like they were trying to crush me. They were probably hitting me very lightly, but I had to rely on my movement to stay away from these guys, and that's something that's just kept in my game all the way up till now. So I'm used to the movement. I'm used to the dynamic explosiveness of my style, and lungs and legs, baby, lungs and legs, and that's how we train. So we're ready for it.
What's your natural stance?
My natural is more of a karate stance. I stance is fairly sideways. Normal guys will stand kind of straight on, target, body kind of straight on. I'm a little bit more sideways, my hands down. I don't know why, but I think it helps me move. Distribute my weight a little bit easier. If you watch Muhammad Ali, that's something I learned from him. Hands were down, he was able to move his body weight a little bit easier. And it just works for me. People have their different styles. I've been doing this since I was 3 years old. It just works for me.
But you wouldn't say you're southpaw or orthodox?
I work both, yes. I do both. And I think you have more weapons in your arsenal when you're able to switch sides like that. And you throw your opponent off.
Last question, I promise. With a win, where does that put you in line for a title shot, do you believe?
I think it's right there at the top. That's what I want after this fight. I'm asking for a title shot with Rocky Lawler. I think I deserve it. You know, as a fighter, that's my goal, is to have that title belt around my waist. And I think a win over Johny Hendricks will put me there.
Thank you.
Can you talk a little bit about Johny Hendricks, like his skills and how you compare these two guys?
Well, you know, he's got a very strong wrestling background. He's got power in his hands. I know this. Went back and watched a lot of his footage, studied him. He hasn't made a whole lot of changes in his game. So I know what he's going to do. I know what he's going to try and do. He's going to try and use his left hand to cover that distance and end up getting me to the cage and try and take me down. He says he wants to stand there and bang with me. I disagree. You know, I think once he feels the power in my hands and feet, he's going to want to take me down. So we're working really hard on my takedown defense. Got guys like Matt Miller and Coach Tom, a wrestling coach back home. He's phenomenal. Carlos Machado, Ryan Hall. Got all these guys in my camp to help me build that and be ready for Johny Hendricks.
This is a bigger stage than your last fight, right? Do you feel pressure at all, or do you think the pressure is all on his shoulders?
No, I feel no pressure. You know, he's been at the top. I think he has more to lose than I do. I can just go out there and fight. You know, and when I go out there, when I win, I'm asking for that title shot.
Can you send a message to Brazil, to your fans in Brazil?
To all the fans in Brazil, make sure you guys tune in. February 6th, UFC Fight Night. Come check it out.
Thank you.
So you were mentioning that he's actually going to look to wrestle more than likely and push you to the cage and try to take you down. He was actually mentioning that he's looking to fight you at a range, stay away, you know, from your kicks or stay inside. With a guy like yourself that moves around so much, you think that would be a good game plan for him to try to fight at a range with a guy like yourself?
Well, with somebody who, with my style and the way that I manage the distance between me and him, I don't think it's too smart for him. I know he's got a shorter reach than I do, so my reach is going to play to a big advantage for him. Unless he's really been working on his explosiveness and his covering distance very fast, I think he's going to have a hard time.
So if he does look more for the takedown, like you said, what are the keys for you to make sure that you're not grinding it out against cage or being taken down? What do you need to do outside of obviously your movement that'll probably be needed on Saturday?
He's not the type of guy to really shoot for a double leg out in the open. He normally tries to get you to the cage and look for the takedown there. So from that position, you know, I'm gonna take position. I'm gonna start pressuring in, you know, keep him from taking me down, work my way out to where I feel more comfortable, which is out in the middle of the cage. My movement is definitely gonna make it hard for him to beat on my legs. The side-to-side movement, the longer range that I have for him is gonna make it hard for him to shoot from my legs.
So he's envisioning a knockout. I guess, you know, he's had close decisions, didn't go his way, so he doesn't want to go to a decision. People have been expecting phenomenal knockouts from you. How do you envision this fighting? Do you see this going 5 rounds, or do you see one of your kicks ending it again, or how do you envision the fight?
You know, I always prepare myself for a 5-minute round war. You know, that's just it just gives me confidence that I know I can go out there and I can grind it out with these guys. I don't ever go out there looking for the knockout. I just let it happen. I guess with my style, you know, I really work on my accuracy and my speed, and I just let it happen. And when it does happen, it's, you know, I obviously go and look for the finish.
So watching your work with the kids, awesome stuff. I have a son who takes karate, so I know how important it is for them. How does that fit into your, you know, UFC career? Is it something that, you know, releases your mind, allows you to have some stress relief, or how do you play that into your UFC career?
Oh, definitely. You know, teaching the martial arts, and I've been doing it since I was 3 years old. You know, and I know what the martial arts has done for me, and I want to give that back to you know, my hometown, to the students, to the kids. And it does help me keep my mind off of it. A lot of times after training, you go home, you sit there and you just worry about the fight. He's going to do this, he's going to do that, and you can kind of worry yourself to death. This helped me keep my mind focused on, you know, off of the fight. But during training, obviously, that's all I'm focused on right there. But it does helps me mentally prepare for it.